Hello, this is State Senator Dale Ryder, and welcome to another edition of the 2-Minute Drill. I'm coming to you from outside the chamber of the Illinois State Senate, where today the Democrat majority in the Senate passed a 30-day budget here at the start of the fiscal year. The budget contains spending levels roughly equal to the unconstitutional $4 billion deficit budget that they passed in the waning days before we're scheduled to adjourn the spring session on May 31st. It contains no reforms. Now let's rewind back to January. Newly elected Governor Bruce Rauner is in office, having run on a platform of not just spending more money, but balancing budgets and engaging in common sense reforms such as redistricting reform to make elections in Illinois more competitive and more fair, workers' compensation reform to help grow our economy, giving the people a voice on term limits, whether or not the people of this state want to add term limits to their Illinois Constitution, limiting property tax growth in Illinois. Those are the issues that the governor ran on and won on in November. So in January, when he takes office, he puts together a set of working committees to talk about these issues and invites the Democrat majority, led by Speaker Madigan, into the meetings to negotiate compromises, not just on the budget, not just on spending and taxes, but on these reform measures as well. The Democrats refused to engage, and then again, a few days before the scheduled adjournment on May 31st, passed a budget that spent $4 billion more than what the taxpayers could afford to send to Springfield. The governor, quite rightly, vetoed that budget. The Democrats today, in order to try to lift the blame that they are wearing on their shoulders for the fact that they passed a deficit budget, have passed a 30-day budget, which, if we extrapolate that out for the next 12 months, is the same unconstitutional budget that they passed in the waning days of May, and has absolutely no reforms. No reforms to help create jobs in this state, no reforms to help for fairer elections in this state, no reforms to give people a voice on term limits. That's the wrong way to go. I oppose the 30-day budget, as did Republicans, as did Governor Rauner. It did pass. It's on its way to the governor's desk. We'll see what the governor does with it. I'm going to ask the governor to oppose and veto the 30-day budget to force everyone back to the table to get to where we need to be. An Illinois that's changed its path from just spending and spending and spending more than the taxpayers can afford to spend, to a state that balances its budgets and engages in common sense reforms to make Illinois a better place in which to live and work and raise a family. Thanks again for joining me for yet another edition of the 2-Minute Drill, and we'll be in touch soon.